Moving on to the next session, once again, I'd like to remind all the guests that we have the Q&A session. Feel free to scan this QR code, which is appear on the screen, and select main stage and drop your question directly to our speakers. The next session, this presentation will shed light on the future of cybersecurity. You will listen from Bernard Collin, CEO, SafeComs, will update to all of you about AI and quantum computing, friends and foe of cybersecurity. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Bernard Collin.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for a great presentation from Palo Alto. We learned a lot about products and what's happening in the world of security. What we're going to talk about today in my presentation is not about product, but it's more about giving you thoughts to generate some ideas and think about what's going to happen in the future, where we're going, and how this AI and quantum computing is going to influence our world. The first thing I'd love to have is, just for a minute, stop thinking about the business and think about what would happen to your life if there was no more secret, if banking could not be protected, if digital currency would vanish, your crypto. Any saved document would become public. No more digital identity. Traditional encryption is at the verge of being obsolete. A few years ago, we were worried about quantum computing, and we thought with the power coming with quantum computing, encryption will not survive. Today, we have the same thing, and we think it's going to happen quicker with AI. So this conference is about cybersecurity, and certainly I'm not going to go about only cybersecurity. We all have ideas of what it is, what we need to do, and there are plenty of booths over here when you can go and see what the level of cybersecurity is. We're talking about protecting, we're talking about mitigating risk, and be compliant with PDPA, the new regulation that's coming up. As the previous speaker said, we have 72 hours in case of a breach to report it. It's quite important. We need to look at incident response and management. What I would like to say first is that despite of all the technology we have around here, the most important thing to protect you is not in technology. The first line of defense is your people, is awareness, is knowing that there's an enemy out there that you have to watch for. We are a technology company. SafeCom sells cybersecurity equipment and solution and process. But we tell our customers, do not rely on technology as a first line of defense. If your budget is limited, put the money in training your staff. Put the money in showing them what real hacking is and what they have to be looking for. And in a company, cybersecurity is a culture. It is not an IT job. It does not belong to the IT director. It belongs to each of us. And we have to be all aware, from the person opening the door or reading the first email in the morning, to the guy in the accounting department that gets a message that the supplier changed his bank account and he should send the money somewhere else. All of us have to be involved, and all of us have to pay attention. There are always, in each company, some people who think they are immune and they are above all and could do whatever they want. Even that guy needs to be taken care of, and he has to be paying attention. The culture is embracing everybody in the company. The next thing we need to look at is what's going to happen and how can it happen. And we're talking about hacking. There's a lot of information around here about high-tech hacking, about sophisticated code, malicious code trying to attack you. We tend to forget social engineering. Social engineering is not technology. Social engineering is resisting the temptation to do something that you shouldn't do, like clicking on the link or moving to disclosing information to someone asking you because they pretend to be an IT help desk person or from the IT department. The second message here is the target for hackers is evolving. If you were a large bank, if you were a large corporation with plenty of money, you were #1 target. But all of them are getting better and better at protection. All of them have sophisticated systems and backup and all this technology that will protect them. So hackers are moving down one level, and they're attacking medium companies, SME. And if you have a company with a reputation, with sensitive data, with important customers, if you do payroll, if you do accounting, and you have information that's really valuable, if your reputation is at risk, you are the new target for the hackers. And you have to be very, very careful with this. This is Mitnick, who unfortunately died young last year, and is the guy who invented social engineering. He attacked NORAD, he penetrated the American defense using a telephone, asking them for information, releasing them credentials so he could access the system. The last hack that we saw a few months ago from MGM, MGM was hacked over a 10-minute phone call, talking to a person and getting them to release data and resetting an account. And the hacker could penetrate. The cost of this hack to MGM was over $100 million. It was social engineering. And all the technology they had did not protect them because people did not comply, did not listen, did not respect process. Who in this room is familiar with quantum computing? Anyone? A few people who heard about it? Well, quantum computing is a science where instead of dealing with bits 0 and 1 in the binary system or the normal computer, we deal with qubit. And qubit have the particularity to be 0 or 1 or anything in between at the same time. And this is due to quantum mechanics laws of entanglement and superposition. We're not going to go into the technicalities of this today, but we can talk about it offline anytime, because that has been one of my pet peeves, and I love quantum computing. What we need to understand is, first of all, when quantum computing is available, it's going to be a real threat to encryption. Why? Because it can deal with extremely large numbers, which normal computers have difficulties to handle. And it can do that at an extremely high speed. So because of the property of quantum computing, we have, and we had for the first time, a real threat to our encryption, a real chance that our secret would be open to anyone. And this has slowed down a little bit because of the difficulty in getting these computers to operate, the number of errors that they are generating. And the promise that we have from quantum computing is also moving towards high precision measurement, GPS, satellite positioning systems, space exploration, medical research. So there's a lot of field. The idea of breaking into system maybe is a little bit further away now because of the evolution of this next one. Now, for this conference, we were expecting Sam Altman to be here announcing GPT-5. They're very close to it, but he called yesterday and said he couldn't make it. They're not ready. So we're going to stick with GPT-4 Turbo, and Sam is not going to be here. And we had very special guest. We had booked the event for them to attend, who also have declined to come because the announcement has been cancelled. But we managed to get a photo of them yesterday in Patpong when they were having a light meal. You can expect anything from AI. You can create any fake. You can usurp any identity. You can automate hacks. Everything is possible. And the risk that we having are multiplied 100, 1,000 times. So let's look at AI, and let's look where they are. Most of you were not born when the first time AI was coined. It was in 1956 that some researcher decided to mimic the way the human brain works on a computer and started creating paths to go and analyze what we could do. And a few years later, they succeeded in creating the first chess program. People playing chess with a computer. It was fantastic. It was amazing. We thought, that's it. Artificial intelligence is there. These guys are going to be beating everybody. But it's quickly died down because of a number of things. The first one, CPU power wasn't there. Memory wasn't there. Data wasn't there. So we could do algorithm, we could do neural path, we could do a lot of things, but it was really hard. And it's only maybe around the early 2000 that we started having access to big data, a lot of information that we could put and squeeze in the memory of a computer and train them on behaving in a way that the human brain does. And this led to the evolution of ChatGPT, large language model, an enormous development that picked up at an incredible path. The gray zone at the bottom of my slide is where we're not there yet, but that's the future. And it's not a future very far. We're very, very close to this. We're very, very close to at least general AI. So let's look at the evolution. ChatGPT started, and within 5 days, reached 1 million users. Never heard of it before. 1 million users in 5 days. In 2 months, ChatGPT reached 100 million users. This is something that is unbelievable. And we're talking about AI, rebranded generative AI, because what ChatGPT does is only copying human knowledge. So they train by absorbing everything we've done, written, published, photos, and now movies. And they're learning everything. And they're learning how we behave and how we work with that. So the evolution of AI is that the AI of 1956 moved into generative AI of today, where we train a computer to do something that we can do or that some of us can do, and the computer learns from the best, and as a result, generative AI has passed the low bar, the medical board association. They're rated like the best doctors. So they can imitate human behavior, they can act as us, and they can do it extremely well, but the limitation is in the data available to train. So whatever we have as a knowledge is what we give them, but they can't take more. So AI, generative AI, is now moving towards synthetic data. And this is not the future, this is now. They're already working. There are things like Pathfinder technology where the AI will attempt to do something that is totally unexpected and will find path. And as soon as he hits a positive result, will record how we got there. And by doing this, they are training themselves to get better and know more and more. And we have this creation of synthetic data that did not exist before, but the computer are creating themselves to train one another and improve their reasoning and their capability. AGI, which is the next step that we will see probably in GPT-5, is general intelligence. And we move from generative to general intelligence because the system will be able to set its own goals. The computer will be able to say, I want to achieve this, and I'm going to make a program to acquire the learning that I need so that I can reach the target, and they will train themselves to evolve towards that. The next level, where nobody knows what's going to happen, and anyone who says that he knows is a liar, we have no idea at all what will happen with superintelligence. And this is one of the things that I hope my presentation will bring to you, is the fact that we need to think about it and prepare for it. Because it's not, will it happen or not? Yes, it is coming and it will be there soon, and we need to be ready. What we hope is that AI will learn to operate with human-aligned value. AI will learn to work with us and respect us. And the next level, nobody talks about it much today, but there are some researchers worldwide trying to do hybrid intelligence. And when I say hybrid intelligence, I don't mean putting a biochip in your brain. That is not the idea, even though some people are thinking about it. But hybrid intelligence is the combination of the high intelligence of the computer, the reasoning capability, emotion, and everything from the human, and work together in symbiosis to achieve objective. One thing I want to say is that AGI might surpass what is expected from quantum computing. And the cracking of encryption is a possibility much closer now because of AI, because of AGI, rather than because of the advance in quantum computing. It won't be stopped, but it's probably AGI that will be the most important one. You probably heard about this. A month ago, roughly, Sam Altman was fired from OpenAI. By the way, OpenAI started, including Elon Musk in the program, as a non-profit organization to get intelligence, artificial intelligence, available to anyone at zero cost. We have now moved to an extremely profitable or for-profit organization. And that's a big transition, it's a big difference. And when Sam Altman was fired, people were wondering what's the reason, why did you get kicked out? And the reason is because he did not disclose information to his board. And that's the reason why they fired him. And the idea is the fact that when he was asked what was the document leaked to Reuters, he didn't deny it. He didn't say, no, this did not exist, we didn't crack the encryption. By the way, they say they cracked the encryption used by the bank, used by the military. He said, no comment. This was an unfortunate leak. And that is open door to any possibilities. Was it right? Was it not right? We don't know. What is next? We made a lot of progress in the last 100 years. We went from a carriage drawn by horses to fantastic cars, electric car today. We went from flying birds mimicking with wings to rocket going into space. In education, we've improved dramatically. We had a class with a bunch of students and one teacher. And now what we have is a bigger class with more students and still one teacher who lost control. And this is the progress we made in education. AGI will give one person, one teacher, organized by the Board of Education, organized by the lecturer, but he will be able to give individual teaching to each person. Healthcare, helping people who are dying, alone, sad, somebody to talk to in a meaningful way. Hybrid intelligence, just a quick one on this one. If you ride a horse with an objective, the rider will give the direction, the pace, the intention to the horse, and the horse will manage the riding. will manage the handling the terrain, obstacle, and whatever. And that's what they're trying to bring with hybrid intelligence. But it keeps the question, who is in charge? My last two thoughts that I'd like to convey to you. The first one is, when we were kids, we were looking at ants, and we were finding them fascinating. They organized a colony, they'd bring their food, they carry very heavy weight. They were fantastic little insects. And some of us even build a terrarium in their room so they can observe them in their tunnels. That's our intelligence compared to ants made this difference that made us find them interesting, but also observe them. We need to understand that when AGI is there, when super intelligence is there, we will have the same difference between this AI and us. Are they going to look at us and put us in a box and observe us? We don't know. But we need to be prepared with the fact that it's going to happen. The other one is the significance of your life. Why are you alive? Why are you staying alive? What is motivating you in the morning to get up and enjoy life is the purpose of doing something that is worth your time. Learning, acting, creating. When super intelligence is there, everything will be done for us. There won't be anything left for us to do, because you want to do something, they do it smarter. You want to reach something, they will go faster. Anything you want to do or attempt to do, there will be next to you an AI that can do it a lot faster, so people will delegate, and we're going to have them do everything. This is the recipe today that drives people into heavy depression and commit suicide. So we need to understand, is the purpose of artificial intelligence going to be the destruction of the planet? And what is the risk, and how are we going to evolve? Well, I'd say one thing, is that today, without artificial intelligence, are we any better? Because this is what we have, and this is the prospect that we have. And if we let greed and power thirst drive the country to this, I think we have a better time delegating some of the responsibility to AI, because the job that they do there is not fantastic. So my message to close this is, we need to find a way to develop AI and preserve human behavior and preserve the relationship with AI. We can't delegate everything. We have to stay somehow in control, but we need to understand that a lot of things will be done by AI without our control. And AI will be self-working and creating and reproducing. So the way we need to do this is stay aware and continue to observe what's happening and try to be part of this evolution of AI, try to be part of what's happening. The other message that comes back to the beginning is awareness. Make sure that you do not rely on technology to protect everything, but you rely on your own intelligence, on your own feeling, on your own perception, and you are aware of where we're going. And then we need to prepare for new protection level. There are lattice networks that scientists are working on, which promise to be quantum resistant and possibly AGI resistant. So we need to find ways to improve our protection. And then the last one is, everybody thinks about it. We need to understand that life is going to change. We're going to have to learn a new way of life and a new philosophy, and not in 3 generations. It's now happening in the next few years. It will be part of our life. It will change in our life. If you talk to the leaders in each of the countries, and if you have the chance to be one of them, the important message is to be able to include AI and include quantum computing in the strategic development, in the organization of running the countries and making a better job. And we need to find ways to address cybersec, to address breaches. Let's all learn to be part of the solution, not the problem. Thank you for your attention.